When I see an old dude driving a nice car, I don't really look. And the reason is I kind of expect it. I kind of think that, dude, you've been working for how many years? 40, 50 years? You should have a nice car. But when I see a young dude have a super nice car, like a 19-year-old with a Lamborghini, I'm like, yo, how? It's crazy. And I see it all the time in Miami. And back in the day, you either had money or you didn't. Like your family had money and that was it. And that's why you're young and you have a nice car, because it just wasn't possible. But nowadays, with social media, with streaming, with internet money, with influencers, with e-com, with online coaches, with internet sales, you can be young, 18, 19, 20, 21, with a crazy car. In fact, most of the people that had the nicest cars in my city, in Miami, and even around here, they're young dudes. They got the Raris. They got the Lamborghinis. They got the crazy off-the-market whips that everyone's like, yo, how? And that's what's crazy. Being young and having something super expensive, that lifestyle is a different level of flex, but it can be very dangerous. And there's a slippery slope here, and there is a price of flexing too early. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to be young and how to really have financial discipline, because I know you guys want to flex. I know you want to look good in front of all your friends, and you want to be able to impress that girl. Like 100%, I get it, bro. I'm still young in my own head. You might call me Unc, but to some people, I'm a kid, and I still fight the temptation every day to spend the money that I have on things that I don't necessarily need, but I want to look good. So how do you do it? What is the price to flexing too early, and when does it make sense? So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Sumi. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Hit that bell notification to stay on top of all my videos. Click the links down below if you ever want to talk to me. And we're going to jump into today's episode of the price of flexing too early. There is a cost to having a nice life. And obviously some people can pay a lot more, and some people have to, be a little bit more careful with how they spend their money. But the one thing I'll tell you is that if you are not actively saving a percentage of your income, you are fucked. You are fucked. Never be in a position where you're not saving at least 10% of your money. So you can go as far as you want to go, but even when you're investing, even when you're dumping money into a business, even when you're throwing everything in, it's good to have at least 10% of your money saved up. I know there are stories of people throwing every single nickel and dime at the wall to make something happen, but I don't necessarily think you need to do that all the time. And those may be very rare case studies, but I think that at least 10% of your money you can afford to save. If you've got $1,000, you can afford to put at least $100 aside, and you can cut back on some expenses. So my advice is to save a percentage of your money and always have that going for you, and that's how you know that you're okay. If you're saving at least 10% of your money, you can live on 90%. I'm not here to hold you back that much, but if you can save more, if you can save 20 to 30% of your income, that is fire. Try to save at least a third of your income, and if you can really get good at it, try to save at least 50% of your income, and then you're in a good zone. Outside of that, you don't have to do too much more. I'm not here to push it to the extreme level, even though that I may have done that. At one point, I was saving 80 to 90% of my income. You don't have to. You don't have to be that extreme. I think 50% is the most extreme that you should go, and I think that at a bare minimum, you should be saving 10%. So if you got cars, house, rent, bills, this, that, and third, you cannot be spending more money than you're bringing in, and you can be spending close to as much money as you're bringing in, but at least save 10%. Hopefully that's clear. We've said it like 20 times. Let's go. Now, let me tell you what happens if you don't. If you don't do this, y'all are fucked, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Here's the big thing. You've locked yourself into debt. You've locked yourself into an agreement where you have a car note that you've agreed to, a rent that you've agreed to, maybe a certain type of lifestyle psychologically that you've even agreed to, club memberships, so on and so forth. So when you lock yourself into heavy bills, typically it's a car with young people. It's a car and rent. If you do that, you're in a bad situation. It's gonna increase your anxiety because you can't do things that you want to do. It's going to decrease your freedom because you can't do things that you want to do. It's going to put a brake on everything that you want to do in life. It's also going to hurt your ability to invest into things. If you have a business, you have an idea, you want to make XYZ money on the side, sometimes you need money to make money. In fact, a lot of times you need money to make money. So when you are locked in and you're paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, you can't do anything. You can't pull $500 to go invest in your buddy's business because you know he's going to be successful, but you got no money. You can't go and get your dad a nicer Christmas gift that you normally get him because he had a really hard year because you just don't have more money. And you can't do certain things. You can't push certain things a certain way because you're locked into certain bills. 2, you fuck yourself up on investing into yourself. This is probably the biggest thing. You can't take private lessons. You can't pay for mentorship. You can't learn new skills. You can't do new activities. And that kind of stops you from growing in life. It stops your momentum. You're going to be the same because you're not investing into yourself with new skills, new ideas, new experiences that can make you a better person. 3, here's probably one of the biggest things that's messed up. You kind of create the wrong image, and people think that you really got it to the level that you got it, and they expect you to take on certain bills and to show up at certain places. But when you have a nice car and a nice expensive apartment and you're not coming out for a friend's birthday, you look cheap. you look like an asshole. You look like, yo, you got this nice ass car, you got this nice ass apartment, but you can't get me a nice birthday gift. You can't show up to a dinner. You can't grab one tab. You can't come out here on vacation with me. It makes you look a lot richer than you actually are, and that actually messes you up because you get pressured in situations that you actually should not be spending money on. You also can attract the wrong friends, like fake people that think that you really got it, but you really don't. They might try to exploit you. And more than anything, it just sets you up for an unrealistic lifestyle. Last but not least, it doesn't really grow you. Flexing is like probably the least successful thing that you can do. It's the lowest level ROI. When you are better than other people, when you are feeling like you're better than other people, you're actually the dumbest motherfucker in the room because your ego has consumed you and you don't realize that you can't be around a lot of people that you're actually better. And you got to realize that, number one, if you're around people that you're genuinely better than, bad. You need to get in a room where people are better than you. Number two, you need to understand that being better than other people and being that top dog actually fuels your ego. It makes you more comfortable, and it actually can set you up to not be as successful as you need to be. You need that fire under you that people are doing better than you, people are bigger than you, people are working harder than you, and you need that lack of ego that makes you feel humble, that keeps you hungry, that keeps you focused. So flexing when you're young and being aggressive when you're young in terms of your finances is probably the worst thing that you can do. My advice, be in a position where you're at least saving money because there is a price for flexing too early. I appreciate you guys joining me today in this video. I really admire that you took time out of your day to hang out with me. That means a lot to me. I'll keep putting out content on whatever you guys want. Shoot me a DM if you have any topics that you want me to talk about. And until next time, guys, sue me out.